Hey fam. So I wanted to make a video and update everybody about just everything that I'm working through. I know that James and I did the video about our conscious uncoupling, and I wanted to go a little bit more into the reality that I am or have been stepping into, and the leap that I am making, pretty much walking off of a proverbial cliff, if you will. And I just wanted to talk about it because, there's a few things that I wanted to kind of express to you guys, because I'm doing this ultimately for myself and my own growth. But if there's any part of this that could help other people make a similar choice for themselves in whatever way that is for them, right? Not necessarily exactly what I'm doing, but just, finding the courage to make a significant shift, whatever that means for you in your life, then I really want to share kind of where I'm at and the circumstances around it, just because I feel like it's taken me a lot of specific work to get to the place where I'm able to walk off the cliff and not feel threatened and feel completely supported. So I guess I would start with like my current circumstance. So since James and I separated as of the 14th, I have technically no home. I know a lot of you guys have messaged me, hey, where are you gonna live now and stuff, and I put on my Facebook that I moved to the universe, right? Because that's kind of what I did in a way. I am effectively homeless. However, I don't really see it that way because, and this is part of why I want to share all of the magic that has come out of nowhere, pretty much to support me, right? So there's that. So I have nowhere that I'm currently quote unquote living. Right now I'm at my aunt's awesome house for the holidays. She's letting me stay here and we're just visiting together. And that's been really amazing. This place is super healing, very quiet. I get plenty of time for myself to meditate and feel the emotions of what's coming up for me during this time, which has been really important. So I'm super grateful for that in this space and what it's provided for me. And then I will leave here on the 7th of January, and I will fly just straight into Orange County, California. And I will probably be there for the winter, but I don't know. I am... The best way to describe how I'm feeling about plans is that I feel... well, I guess I'll kind of explain. I feel very guided in the decisions that I make because if there's resistance in a path and it's like difficult to figure out, I don't push it. And I also simultaneously am on the lookout for the specific situations which are lining up insanely easily, and I follow those because truly I believe that there is a path that is in my highest good and in the highest good of universe, right? And everyone in it. And so if I can have the faith to walk that path, and the courage, because this is not like it's not like a cakewalk. And that's another thing that I wanted to mention. Then I can be, put myself in the positions and in the locations and with the people where I'm going to naturally make the most impact for myself and other people, you know. So some of the magic that's happened, and the reason why I'm going to California, is I put myself in this position where I don't have a car, I do not have income technically, I do not have anywhere to live, and I don't have any restrictions as far as like a job or a cat or any of that. Like I don't, you know, I've put myself in a position where universe can work through me and show me, you know, next steps. So as I was doing this, I was meditating hours a day. I was actually here when I got to Florida, which I was guided to by other circumstances and just kind of happenings. When I got to Florida, I was actually specifically lined it up so that I would be alone for 4 days straight in this condo. And so during that time, I mean, I like just was just with myself. And one of the points I want to make, again, going back to this not being a cakewalk, like, guys, it's hard, you know, it's not an easy thing that I'm just like, leaving my home, leaving my security, leaving my external stability, leaving my deep partnership with James and the love that we, you know, created. Anyway, at least that version of that love is still there, you know, and so appreciated. But moving it to a different, you know, transitioning it into something else, leaving my cat, right? Like, definitely cried a lot over that one. You know, this has not been an easy thing. And so I want to, you know, let you guys know that sometimes walking this path and off the cliff or whatever, like, it's not, you know, I'm not taking this as some light thing, right? It's been a lot of having tons of emotion coming up and honoring it in the moment. If I'm out with people, doesn't matter what I'm doing, like, I am excusing myself and I'm going to my room and I have I'm not compromising that. So when I'm feeling an emotion coming up, I'm not distracting. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not overeating to numb that down. I just go right into my room and meditate and feel it and cry and feel the depth of everything that's coming out. Because it's when we have these things that are coming up, guys, they're just trying to leave. You know, like Kyle talks about, if you're familiar with Kyle Cease, I know a lot of my friends are, it's just trying to leave. And we have a bad habit of grabbing onto it and trying to use it as part of our identity or use it to define us. And it doesn't need to. It's just trying to move through you back to source, back to love. And so, but it's not, like I said, some easy thing where I'm just flippantly like, okay, I'm going to binge Netflix and journal and whatever, you know, like, I've been going through a lot of emotion with this transition. So sorry if this is a little rambly. I just really want to express some things. Again, going back to how I decided that Southern California is my next step, is that as I was going through this process, I really felt myself coming around to the other side of it, right? It was like really clearing out. And then one night I was up and I couldn't sleep. And typically in the past, like historically, I have been very resistant to not being able to sleep because I really like sleep. I mean, I'm a Taurus, let's be real. But you know, I really value my sleep. And so I was up and it was like 2 a.m. or something. I don't even know. It was like midnight when it started. Everything started in. And instead of being like upset or trying to resist it or trying to like, oh, drink warm milk or whatever, like, I was just chilling, listening to music, like, okay, I guess I'll sleep when I need to. And I started getting tons of, like, people just started talking to me out of nowhere. And I had been pretty much alone for 4 days at this point and had really not a lot of, like, some people reaching out, of course, checking on me and stuff, but like, out of nowhere, my friend Lindsay, you know, messages me, checking on me, and she's like, I want you to know you can stay with me. And we were talking, and she's like, if you need help with your plane tickets, I got you. Like, I want to make sure you're okay. So I was like, oh, that's awesome, and then a little bit later, one of my other friends, Ty, reached out to me too and was like, hey, I just want you to know you can totally stay with me, and if you need a place to stay or whatever, and I can maybe get you a job. Like, I know somebody who's looking for people, and which, so I'm like, wow. I'm like, thank you so much. And then while I'm talking to Ty, this guy that one of my friends that was back from my like fun party days when I was in Orange County, I haven't talked to him in like 7 years or something. Hi, John. Hits me up and out of literally nowhere and messages me and is like, hey, why don't you come to Mystic Manor, which is this amazing retreat center in Venice Beach, California, that I've been really wanting to check out. And I've had a few friends that have gone, and I've had my eye on this place for a while, And, he's like, hey, I can get you in. Like, I work there. I'm like the manager of operations, like, and, he's basically offering to help me out and check the place out, with him, free. So, like, that's pretty cool. And so I was like, what? Like, so that for me, guys, is like, I didn't know where I was going to go next, but the next day I booked my tickets, right? Because these are the kind of things where it's like, okay, I sat with the silence and I didn't try to enforce my will on any kind of a situation. I had an idea of like, hey, maybe I can go out there. Maybe I could go to Portland. Maybe I can go to Utah. Like, I don't know. And so next steps literally just presented themselves to me, right? With a free plane ticket if I had wanted it, with places to stay, offers of like people to help me get a job if I wanted that. Like, just amazing, just literally magic, you guys. And then also being able to check out this amazing spiritual retreat center that also has like an epic community portion to that, where I would be able to meet like really incredible people who are into the same work that I'm into, and get involved with that, right? And so these are the kind of things where, so I booked the ticket, right? Because when I booked my ticket for Florida, I booked a one-way because I didn't know. And I wanted specifically to leave that open, right? There was talks of maybe me getting a car, maybe this happening, and my ego was very attached to getting a car, let me tell you, because I have stuff, everybody has stuff that's special to them that they really want to have with them. And I've gone from like having stuff and a life to 4 bags. Now I'm going to go down to 3 so that I can travel out in California and be unencumbered. But, my ego really wanted that option of a car to be there because, like, what if I had no place to live, right? Then I could live in my car. But me clinging on to that and forcing that to happen, like, isn't that just me asking reality for me to live in a car? You know what I mean? Like, so one of the other things that I wanted to point out is the reason that I felt so supported, I guess I could say, by reality is that, and this is a concept that I have to thank Steve Pavlina for. He talked about this in his subjectivity deep dive that he did, which I was part of and loved. And one of the videos, it was like a video, quick video about the topic for the day and journal prompts. And one of them, which made me bawl my eyes out, was this concept that, like, do you have trust wounds with your reality? Like, have things happened in your life to you when you've been vulnerable or gone out on a limb and taken a chance that have sabotaged the trust that you have in the fact that you are a miracle to even be alive, that you are supported and loved so much by the fact that you're even here, right? Which is a crazy miracle. Okay, that you were even born, that you have 2 legs and 2 arms, that you're still alive, right? I think we forget this. And we're just like, yeah, I'm just here. Like, no, you're not just here. Anyways, so so that was a cool thing, because then I was like, wow, I really don't trust reality. And so then I went to a meditation retreat right after that, and I was able to just get deep into that and become the concept of trust, right? I am trust. Like, I don't trust things. I'm not going to work on being trusting. Like, I am embodying trust. And when you have that kind of intention, like, if you are trust, then the things that, happen around you, you start to look at them a lot differently. You look at them like the universe would look at them, right? You look at them like they're unfolding for a specific reason. And, I just, so these are some of the concepts that have really been instrumental in allowing me to literally dive off a cliff without a bungee cord, so to speak. And I'm feeling so, of course, like I said, I'm having a lot of emotions, but at the same time, I'm finding this amazing person underneath everything. This person, this courage, this faith that I didn't realize that I had, this sense that, I'm understanding that as things unfold, and if I have to face some kind of darkness, that it's for me, not to me, right? Like, and through me, right? So when I'm in an airport, when I'm taking a bus, whatever, or if I take a wrong turn and I end up somewhere I didn't mean to be, then there's still something there for me, and there's something in that, right? Or it's for someone else, right? Because you don't know, right? um hey, I don't know why I took this wrong turn, but oh, here's a person that I can talk to, and maybe they just needed someone to talk to for a minute, whatever, right? Hey, I was in a car accident and we bumped, fender bender. Maybe if I handle this with a little grace, this person's faith in humanity is going to be restored. Instead of getting yelled at for bumping into my car, I can just look at them with love and, be like, hey, no big deal. And who knows how that's going to shape the day, their week, their month, how they treat other people at the end of that, right? My friend Sammy had that situation, and that's how she handled it, right? These kind of things, like, we don't understand how things are entangled. And so, but one of my other points that I wanted to address is a lot of people in this work, we get to this point and then we're like, well, I still have to live in the real world, right? And the real world to a lot of people, I guess, means that if you take these chances and you trust and whatever, that you're going to get screwed. And there's the fear of like, oh, if I go through a bad time, then that's a negative thing, right? Or if I go through something that's difficult, if I feel a feeling that I'm not used to feeling, or that everyone's told me is wrong and I shouldn't be feeling, whatever it is, like, we have this concept that that's somehow this failure, and God forbid, right? But what if there's something beautiful trying to come through you, and you're protecting yourself from it by not taking chances? Because what can really happen to you, right? You're not really gonna die most of the time, right? And even if you did, you were supposed to die, I guess. Like, I don't know. That's how I see it. But you're really not. Like, I'm not gonna die if I don't get a job and I run out of money and I am in some debt. Like, oh, okay. Guess I'll go start over and figure something else out. Like, it's not the end of the world. But our ego and our nervous system try to convince us that it is going to be the end of the world, and that we're going to die if we don't have a savings account and, health insurance or whatever, right? But, and I understand that some people really need that. So, like, I don't, because I don't have a chronic illness or some kind of medical thing. I get that, if but, yeah, just this concept that, like, in the real world, and I just challenge you that if that is your real world, because it's not mine, it's not like a lot of people's real world who I know personally, and I see magic happening everywhere. to me. I mean, just the things that I was discussing, but there's been so many other amazing things that have lined up perfectly for any of this to even happen, that it's like, if that's your real world is that everything's out to attack you and everyone wants to take you out, like, that's just a reflection of here and your relationship with yourself, you know? So maybe you can look at that, and because that's where I was at, right? I was at war with my reality. I didn't trust anyone, didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my partner, who was incredibly trustworthy. I didn't trust the people around me. I didn't trust the weather. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, but it's all unfolding the way it's supposed to all the time. Like, anyway, so I guess that's pretty much everything. I wanted to just update everybody, like, hey, I'm doing so great. No, it's not easy. Yes, I'm having emotions. They're not that bad. They're pretty great when you think about the fact that you get to be here and feel them. It makes me super stoked for life. But yeah, I'm here. I'm diving off a cliff. I'm fine. I'm like, in this moment, like, there's just nothing wrong. And I've been seeing things come out of nowhere, completely unexpected avenues, just handing me abundance to pay my bills next month, right? Like, just it's awesome. But yeah, that's where I'm at, and it's been a hell of a ride to get here, and I'm really excited for everything that's coming up. And if you want to hang out, if you're somewhere warm, that could happen this winter. If you're somewhere cold, that could happen in the spring. Whenever it warms up, then wherever you are. But I'd love to come around and just see people and do amazing, expansive work. And look forward to some more videos, guys, but I just wanted to share where I'm at and how I'm looking at it. And I hope that this maybe helps you in some way to make a different decision that might help you grow. I love you guys.